Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Tara with Mayhem Crafty Cards, and today I thought we'd play with some of these Distress Oxide sprays. I've already made one background with them, and I just use the Twisted Citron and the Salty Ocean, and they're really super easy to make for your backgrounds. And we're also going to play with some of the new Trinity Stamps stamp sets that I picked up. So, for the other two card bases, I picked out Wilted Violet and Pickled Raspberry. And for the last one is Mustard Seed and Abandoned Coral. These are super quick and super easy to use, but you have to use your splatter box. I made the mistake of not, and I got it all over my laptop and on my keys and screen, and just as my hubby wasn't too happy when we had to clean that off. So we'll also be using the Ink on 3 blackout ink for those when we stamp them. So let me grab my splatter box and we will I'll show you guys how to use these. So you do need to shake the snot out of these guys, because if not, you're not going to get a good spray. And I like how you get different types of sprays. Like with this one, you have, you know, big splatters, and then you have your little splatters, and they just mesh so well together. So let me grab my splatter box, and you'll probably hear my kids in the background because, like everybody else, my kids are home and doing kid things. So luckily I still have a ton of these boxes left from shipping. So I'm making some of these cards because we had my husband's grandmother passed away from COVID-19. And I wanted to make the nursing home and, you know, some of the staff just some bright cherry cards to let them know that we are thinking about them and how much we appreciate the care that they gave. So I don't want to turn this into a sad video. So we're going to make some super colorful backgrounds, and we will get these sent into them. So I'm going to shake these real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to go in, you know, just with whatever shade I pick, and just start spraying. And as you can see, the paper is going to curl up a little bit, but that's okay. So I usually do 1 to 2 squirts because the paper is going to curl up on me. So that one was Pickled Raspberry. And then we're going to do our Wilted Violet. But it just leaves like a really cool background. So I'm going to take this guy out. And of course it's going to take, you know, a couple seconds for it to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other one. And as you can see, it got all over the place. So thankfully, I'm going to use, you know, I just flip this guy over because he's just going to be on my card base. So let me grab, so the next two are Abandoned Coral and Mustard Seed. So I'm going to shake these guys and be right back. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the Abandoned Coral first. And I'm going to get a little closer this time. But you see those big drops that it gives you. So you get a lot of different texture. And then this is going to be the Mustard Seed. And that one, because it is so pigmented, I'm only going to do 1 squirt. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'll be right back. And if you're impatient like I am, you can always hit this with the heat gun, and the paper will go completely flat. See, here's this guy already, and he's already flattened out. So we're going to set this guy off to dry, and then we're going to go ahead with our stamping. And I'm going to use my Misty because I can't line things up to save my life. Nothing will ever be straight. So I'm going to just go ahead, and I've already cut these bases just a size because it just saved me a little bit of time. So I'm going to lay those in there. And I'm just using Nina White 110 pound cardstock. That's what I use for all my cards. It's just something easy for me to use. So we're going to start off with, this is not a card. This is not a card. It's a hug with a fold in the middle. And I really like this one. So I'm just going to try to lay it out as straight as I can. And I should be using the corners, but I'm just going to eyeball it for today. Because I am going to cut this down just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my ink on 3. Blackout ink. I really like this ink. I watercolor a lot, and I don't have to heat emboss with this one, which is great. And I probably, depending on, sometimes I will stamp this one twice, sometimes not. Since I've used this stamp before, I might not have to. And I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on there. Yep, I'm got to stamp one more time, but that's okay. So is anybody else struggling with their kids' homework? I am struggling because I am not a math person. My husband and my son are. However, I am not. And this whole... oh, this Common Core math, not it for me. Can't do it. I've tried to YouTube it, Google it. Look. So luckily my older two know how to do it, because this mom, it's not gonna, it would be terrible. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with Your Existence. Let's do this, because I'm not gonna be able to read it. Your existence makes this world better. So again, I'm going to try to line this up as best I can. It's not going to be 100%. So again, I'm just going to stamp it with the ink on 3. But yeah, this, I feel so bad. My son's a senior. And, you know, the school did a really great thing the other night and lit up the stadium for them. And I know a lot of high schools are doing that for the kids. But it's just not the same. You know, there's no part, you know, no graduation, no proms or anything like that. Luckily, though, our school is going to extend, like they're going to try to do a ceremony for them in August, which I think is great. And I hope that a lot more schools do that, because, you know, the kids, they deserve it. They've gone through all this schooling, and, you know, this is what they've been looking forward to. And I may actually stamp this one 3 times, because I've not stamped this one yet, I don't think. Luckily, my son, you know, doesn't give 2 hoots about prom or anything like that. But, you know, there are a lot of kids that do. We're going to try this one more time. I can see I'm getting a little bit of smudging, which I'm not sure where that's coming from. I may need to clean my stamp, which I think I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to clean this and I will be back in a second. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned that. Let's hope that this will be better this time around. Good thing about paper, it's got 2 sides. So I don't ever throw anything away. If I get frustrated with it, I'll just put it aside and either walk away or start on something else. Because you don't want to throw them away. I mean, you've worked hard on them. So let's try this one more time. Much better. So yeah, it's just, you know, I think my kids are starting to get a little stir crazy. Luckily, though, the last couple of days we've had some really good weather. So it hasn't been super terrible and they can go outside and play. I mean, my son games. They're gamers. All my kids are gamers. But, you know, during the school year, you know, they would have a certain amount of time that they were allowed to game. And they could not game usually during the week because, you know, schoolwork always came first. I'm going to go ahead and clean this guy off real quick. So, I mean, yeah, the internet's fine and dandy, but they just, you know, schoolwork always comes first. And my towel is clean. It is just very stained So now we're going to go in with Sending You Love and Happy Thoughts. But yeah, they, I'm pretty sure they're getting a little stir crazy and they're ready to just be out. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stamp on this side because I'm going to cut this little corner off anyways. So see some of that splatter, you have to have a good splatter box and be very, you know, be somewhat careful. Okay. But yeah, the stir craziness for sure setting in. And it's not, like I said, it's not too bad with my older two, but my youngest is 11 and she is just like, okay, going a mile a minute. Yeah. And there's only so much you can do. Like being in Ohio, like the weather is so hit and miss. You're either going to get super nice or you're going to get snow. It's like I said, it's so hit and miss. Mother Nature just sees Ohio and she's like, oh, okay, let's spin the wheel and see what kind of weather you're going to get today. So it's very random. So it makes it hard for the kids to, you know, go outside. Luckily, we do kind of live by a park, so they're able to walk the track and keep themselves, you know, somewhat busy. Because I don't want them stuck inside, excuse me, all day long. Being on the computers and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this one more time just because my O and my U didn't come out very well. All right. Let's get this guy off to the side. I'm going to clean this guy. So, I mean, they do, like, all three of my kids are in band. And it's, you know, my daughter plays cymbals. And there are no cymbals in my house right now. I mean, I don't think I can handle cymbals at this point. So, they're supposed to send a video to practice, and there's just no way. I mean, could you imagine 2 hours of cymbal practice being quarantined? Not likely. So for these guys, what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to go ahead and color them, and I'm going to speed this up just because I'm just going to do some super simple coloring with my zig markers, and when I'm done, we'll get back to the cards. Okay, so I should have said I'm going to use some pretty vibrant colors, and this is not watercolor paper. Like I said, this is like the Nina 110 pound cardstock, and I like using this and Not Your Mama's cardstock, but they have been sold out at Brutus Monroe forever now. So, and of course I just placed the order and then it's back in stock. So I'm not going to do like I said, a whole lot, just some simple coloring, just with a couple, you know, bright colors. And then I will show you how I put the card together. Okay, so I just went ahead and finished coloring this one card. We're going to go ahead and put some Nuvo drops on the centers, or on the little tails. Just to add something a little extra to it. And what I'm going to do is I am going to add some fun foam to the back of this, just to give it a little bit more dimension. So I tried to make it as bright and as airy as I could without it being too, like, it's kind of in your face, but okay. So once these dry, I'm going to cut it down to size, because I should have done that before I put my Nuvo drops on, but you know, we're just going to go with it. It's just one of it's just one of those things where you just have to go with it. So, and I'm going to go ahead and color the other two off screen, but I think what I'm going to do is add this to the pink and purple background, just because, you know, it's already super bright and I don't want to overpower the background splatter. And you can also add glitter to this too. Like I have the Spectrum Noir, the glitter ink, and I use this for everything. This adds just the right amount of shimmer without it being too in your face. And, you know, again, this will be one you have to shake up as well. So, but you can pretty much add anything to these backgrounds, and they're so simple and easy to do. That's what I really like using my Distress Oxide sprays for. So as soon as these Nuvo drops dry, I can get them, you know, I can get my card base started. So, but yeah, I think what I'm going to do is add this one on here. And of course, like I said, I'm going to cut this down so you'll be able to see more of that splatter background. And then I will prop this up with some fun foam. And that's a great way to add dimensions to your cards. Like, you can get it in the kids' craft aisle, the dollar store, Joann's, I mean, pretty much anywhere. And it's not expensive. Well, I shouldn't say it's not expensive, because if you get it from Joann's or Michael's, it's going to be expensive. So just pick some up at the, you know, Dollar Tree, dollar store. Most of them come with adhesive on one side, and then you just add a little bit of glue to the other side, which, you know, how easy is it to then pop up your card base without adding, you know, 3,000 pounds of double-sided foam tape. Sorry, my allergies are going bananas right now because yesterday it was cold and rainy, and today it's 70 and sunny. So it's not very fun. And I will try to keep this video as short as I can. I know sometimes watching a long video is just, you know, you got some other things to do, and that's just what it is. The Nuvo drops I use, I'm sorry, they're the crystal drops, and this one is Carnation Pink. And I like it because it just adds a little bit of subtlety to the card. So I'm going to try to trim this down now, and I will be right back. Okay, so I got impatient and just cut it down with a pair of scissors. But this is the fun foam. So, and I just grabbed pink. They come in all different kinds of colors, and there's adhesive on the back. So it makes it nice. And this is the side that I use to stick onto my card. So let's go ahead and cut this guy down just a little bit more. And you can use just about anything to cut these down, but I do save the pieces because you never know, you know, you could have that shaker card. And it doesn't have to even be straight. I'm not even going to worry about it not being straight. So what I'm going to do then is peel off so this is really sticky, and I should have Adventures on Fun Foam. There we go. So I'm just going to lay this guy right on top of it. And I'm going to go ahead and use liquid glue on the back because it's just a stronger hold, I feel like, from all the cards I've made. If I don't use a liquid adhesive, then they just don't stick as long. But you can use whatever adhesive you want. That's just my personal preference is liquid glue. So now what I'm going to do is glue this. I'm going to try to glue this right into the center. And the nice thing with liquid glue is you have time to move it. So there we go. It's nice, popped up, gives you a little bit of a dimension with the card without having to add a ton of stuff to it. So this card was super simple and easy to make. Like I said, I have these other backgrounds that I'm going to use, and these are all going to go to the nursing home where my husband's grandmother was. So stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.